Do you dream of picking fresh, juicy strawberries right from your own garden? Maybe you're short on space, living in an apartment, or only have a small balcony or patio. Well, I have fantastic news for you. You absolutely can grow an abundance of delicious strawberries, even in the smallest of spaces. The secret? Growing them vertically in hanging baskets? It's an incredibly easy and rewarding way to enjoy homegrown berries all season long. Selecting the correct type of strawberry plant is crucial for success, especially when growing in containers like hanging baskets. Not all varieties are created equal when it comes to yield and growth habit in this setup. Let's look at the main types you'll encounter. First, there are June-bearing varieties. These plants produce one very large crop of berries, typically over a 2 to 3 week period in early summer. They are great if you want a big harvest all at once for making jams or freezing. Next, we have ever-bearing varieties. As the name suggests, these plants produce fruit more than once. They usually have 2 main harvests, one in early summer and another smaller crop in late summer or early fall. They offer a longer period of fresh berries. Finally, there are day-neutral varieties. These are perhaps the best choice for continuous harvesting. Day-neutral strawberries produce fruit consistently throughout the entire growing season, from spring until the first frost. They aren't dependent on day length to flower and fruit. For hanging baskets, we highly recommend choosing either ever-bearing or day-neutral varieties. The reason is simple. They provide a continuous supply of berries over many months. This means you can step out onto your patio or balcony and pick fresh strawberries almost daily during the peak season. Look for varieties specifically noted as being good for containers or hanging baskets when you are shopping. First, you'll need a hanging basket. Choose one that is sturdy and has excellent drainage holes at the bottom. Proper drainage is absolutely vital for healthy strawberry plants. We recommend a basket that is at least 12 to 14 inches in diameter. This size provides enough space for several plants to grow and produce well. Next, you'll need high-quality potting mix. This is not the same as garden soil. Potting mix is lighter, sterile, and designed to drain well while retaining some moisture, which is perfect for containers. Avoid using heavy garden soil as it compacts easily in pots and can lead to root rot. Look for a mix specifically formulated for containers or hanging baskets. You will also need healthy strawberry plants. Purchase these from a reputable garden center or nursery. Look for plants that have green leaves and appear vigorous without any signs of pests or diseases. A balanced, slow-release fertilizer is also necessary. This will provide your plants with the nutrients they need to grow strong and produce lots of fruit throughout the season. There are a couple of optional materials that can be helpful. A cocoa liner is often used with wire hanging baskets to hold the soil in. You might also need scissors or a knife to trim runners later on, though this isn't strictly necessary for planting day. Now, let's prepare the basket for planting. If your basket requires a liner, place the cocoa liner inside, shaping it to fit snugly against the sides. Next, fill the basket about 2/3 full with your potting mix. Leave some space at the top for the plants and additional soil. Gently remove your strawberry plants from their original pots or trays. Be careful not to damage the roots or stems. If the roots look tightly bound or are circling the bottom of the pot, gently loosen them with your fingers. This encourages them to spread out into the new soil. Now, arrange your plants in the basket. Space them evenly around the basket, allowing about 6 to 8 inches between each plant. Plant each strawberry plant at the same depth it was growing in its original container. The crown, which is the point where the leaves meet the roots, should be right at the soil surface, not buried. Add more potting mix around the roots of each plant, gently firming it down to remove any large air pockets. Ensure the soil level is a little below the rim of the basket to leave space for watering. Once your plants are nestled in their new home, it's time for their first drink. Water the basket thoroughly immediately after planting. Water until you see water draining freely from the bottom of the basket. This helps settle the soil and gives the plants a good start. Regular watering is essential, especially for plants in hanging baskets, which dry out faster than those in the ground. This is particularly true during hot or windy weather. Check the soil moisture regularly. A good way to do this is to stick your finger about an inch or two into the soil near the plants. If the soil feels dry at that depth, it's time to water. If it feels moist, check again later. Avoid letting the basket completely dry out, but also don't let it stay constantly soggy. Fertilizing provides the nutrients your plants need for vigorous growth and abundant fruit production. Follow the instructions on your balanced, slow-release fertilizer package for application rates. Generally, you'll apply fertilizer every few weeks throughout the main growing season, starting a couple of weeks after planting. This consistent feeding supports continuous fruiting. Sunlight is critical for strawberry plants to produce flowers and fruit. Place your hanging basket in a location where it will receive at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight every day. A sunny balcony, patio edge, or garden hook is ideal. Insufficient sun will result in fewer berries. Keep an eye out for common garden pests like slugs and snails, which are particularly fond of ripe strawberries. Regularly inspect your plants, especially the undersides of leaves. If you notice pests, consider using organic pest control methods. There are many safe options available that won't harm beneficial insects or contaminate your fruit. The most exciting part is harvesting your delicious berries. Knowing when they are ready is key to getting the best flavor. A ripe berry will also easily pull away from the plant when you gently tug on it. If you have to pull hard, it's likely not quite ready yet. Harvest regularly, ideally every day or two during peak production. This encourages the plant to produce more flowers and fruit. Here's a helpful harvesting tip. In a hanging basket, the berries naturally hang down, which helps keep them off the soil surface. This reduces the risk of rot and pest damage compared to ground-planted strawberries. Even with the best care, you might encounter a few issues. Don't worry, most common problems are easily addressed. One common problem is yellowing leaves. This can be caused by several factors, including overwatering, which leads to root issues or a nutrient deficiency. Check your watering habits first. Ensure the soil isn't constantly waterlogged. If watering seems fine, consider if it's time for another application of fertilizer. Another issue might be a lack of fruit. If your plants are growing but not producing berries, the most likely causes are insufficient sunlight or improper fertilization. Make sure your basket is getting enough sun. Also, ensure you are using a balanced fertilizer and applying it according to the package directions during the growing season. Growing strawberries in hanging baskets is a wonderfully rewarding experience. It's perfect for small spaces and provides a continuous supply of fresh, delicious fruit right at your fingertips. If you found this guide helpful, please give this video a like. It really helps us reach more gardeners. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more easy and effective gardening tips and tutorials. We share new ideas every week.